Chapter 5. A really strange sound woke me up the next morning. I opened my eyes and couldn't figure out where I was. Then it hit me. I was in Antarctica. I saw Uncle Cecil cooking some oatmeal for breakfast over the camp stove. I heard the strange sound again, and got up fast. "Uncle Cecil," I whispered, "what is that noise?" "Not to worry, Phoebe," he said. "It's just a male penguin looking for his mate." Before the penguin found his mate, he woke up the whole class. Yawning and grumbling, we all sat down to eat breakfast. Miss Frizzle was sitting on the tent floor, typing on her laptop. "What's up for today, Miss Frizzle?" Tim asked. "I want to study the weather more," she said. "And you can go find more penguins." We all bundled up and stepped outside. Whew! What a wake-up call that was! "What makes the wind so cold?" D.A. asked with chattering teeth. "Those are katabatic winds," Miss Frizzle explained. "What are katabatic winds?" I asked. "They sure sound scary." From the desk of Miss Frizzle, "Those crazy katabatic winds. Antarctica has the strongest and coldest winds in the world. Katabatic winds are formed when cold, dense air flows down from the ice cap to the coast." "Can we go play with the penguins now?" Ralphie asked. "I'm going to stay here to take measurements." "But you go on," Miss Frizzle said. "Be sure to take notes for your reports and try to find Cecil. He seems to have wandered off somewhere." We walked over to a group of Adelie penguins that were sheltered from the winds by a hill of ice. "They aren't at all afraid of us," Keisha said. "This book says that adult Adelie penguins have no natural predators on land," D.A. shared, "so they have no instincts to be afraid on land." We stood and watched the penguins. "I think they're using sign language," Wanda said. The penguins were nodding at one another. It looked like they were motioning with their flippers. Then we heard the braying sound that had wakened us all up this morning. "Hey, everybody! Why does a penguin walk softly?" "Because it can't walk hardly." "That's a male looking for his mate," I said, feeling important to know so much. "Let's follow him," Carlo said. Carefully, we trailed behind the male penguin who was waddling across the ice. He led us to a female who was sitting on a pile of rocks. The female got up and let the male take her place. We spied 2 penguin eggs in between the rocks. "They are going to have babies," Wanda gushed. Dorothy Ann started flipping through her field guide again. "Listen to this," she said. From Dorothy Ann's notebook, Adelies and more Adelies. Adelie penguins have their young during the warm weeks of summer. A male and female penguin build a rocky nest on high ground. The eggs are laid in early November. The eggs need to be kept warm all the time. The male and female take turns keeping the eggs warm and protecting the eggs from being eaten. If everything goes right, penguin chicks hatch after about 30 days. I hope we get to see a chick hatch, Wanda said. Penguin babies must be so cute. I wish Uncle Cecil was here, I said. He'd know when the eggs will hatch. Look over there, Arnold said. Isn't that Cecil's hat? Arnold was right. I could see the top of Uncle Cecil's funny thermal hat sticking up above a pile of rocks not far away. Let's go ask him about the eggs, Wanda said. We all ran over to find Uncle Cecil. But when we came around the rocks, he had a shocked look on his face. Then I noticed his top secret briefcase was wide open. Uncle Cecil, I gasped, what are you doing? We all stared down at the things Uncle Cecil had spread out in his briefcase. There were 2 plastic squeeze bottles filled with some kind of liquid. There were some penguin feathers, and there was a laptop computer with a scientific formula on the screen. I guess I can't keep it a secret anymore, Uncle Cecil stammered. Is this your experiment on penguins? I asked. Yes, Uncle Cecil said, but it's not done yet. Do you all promise not to tell anyone about this until I publish my findings? Promise, we all said together. Uncle Cecil picked up one of the plastic bottles. This bottle contains a secret formula that I developed. I began by studying the penguin feathers that I found on the ground. What's so special about penguin feathers? Arnold asked. The feathers have a special oil on them. That's what keeps the birds warm and dry, even in the Antarctic, Cecil explained. And like a lot of scientists, you want to find out how to use the oil to help humans, right? Dorothy Ann asked with excitement. Exactly, Uncle Cecil answered. Just think, it could help millions of people. What's the next step in your research? Carlos asked. I want to test the secret formula on myself, Uncle Cecil answered, and that's what I'm going to do right now. We held our breath while Uncle Cecil took off his parka and held his plastic bottle over his body. But just as he was ready to squirt it over himself, a penguin jumped up on the rocks behind him and made a loud squawking sound. The rest happened fast. Uncle Cecil whirled around in surprise. Then he slipped on the ice. As he fell, he accidentally squeezed the bottle. Out squirted the secret formula, all over us. Before we could say, secret formula, the 8 of us turned into adiel penguins. Uncle Cecil stared at us in shock, but he wasn't as shocked as we were. I looked down at my short, feathery body and my small, webbed feet. I didn't know what to do. But then I saw Arnold, Wanda, and the rest of the kid penguins waddling toward the ocean. I waddled fast to catch up with them. Suddenly, I had the urge to jump into icy cold water.